Hey, yeah. A little darling, don't shed no tears. No woman not cry. Hey, say, I remember.
Hello, Diego. Hi. Hello. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Hi there. Now I'm going to be reading today, and the text I've just posted is about a musician from Jamaica you might know of, Bob Marley. And
yeah, sure.
So first of all, have a look at the text, because we're going to look at some words in the text and read some. So I've posted the link, but also we can look at the text in the chat too. Who's heard of Bob Marley?
I heard
Me?
it.
Me?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, it's so famous.
Yeah. No woman, no cry.
He's quite famous, I think, yeah, but I asked you because we're all different ages and some people today might not know him. So, okay, well, the next question is, does anybody know what this word means? Malapropism.
No. I have read it in your class discussion. I was just asked. I think that I will ask about it.
Well, look at the beginning of the word, mal, and maybe there's a clue there about something about the meaning of this word. So think about words that begin with mal, and mal has a meaning. Do you know this word, mal? Maybe think about the French language. Do you know any words that begin with mal in English? Wrong is on the right tracks, yes. Malnourished means that you don't eat the right food and you're suffering.
Malaria?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure about that word, malaria. I know what it means, but I'm not too sure about the etymology, the origins of that word, but I'm sure you're right. Malaria. Maybe something like you can't breathe properly. I don't know, but I'm sure that's right. I'm sure that there's something about mal there. So, this word mal means something is wrong, and it means that it's not appropriate. Malapropism. So, we're using a word which isn't quite the right word, and sometimes it's done as a kind of joke. Some people are very good at doing this as a kind of joke, but sometimes it's a mistake and it's funny. And we're going to look at the text and read it through and see if we can find any words which maybe are not the right word. So let's start over here. Amr Senosi, are you there? I've got people in the room who are not speaking, I think, again. That's normal. Diego, what about you?
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
Okay, well, Diego, can you see the text?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get cracking. Let's just read the text, and then we will speak about what we're doing with it later. I'll ask you questions about the text later. So, can you just read that first paragraph for me?
Okay. I read it?
Please.
Okay. Many musicians have influenced modern society, but it's hard to think of another word another who was as ironic as Bob Marley. Decades after his death, his portrait, his hairstyle, and even his way of talking are recognizable as symbols of the political and more moral ideas he spread. Although he lived only 36 years. Sorry.
Okay.
Marley,
So, yeah, 36 years, go on.
Marley expressed a universal message of peace, justice, and brotherly love that reached every continent and inspired the people of every nation.
Okay, now what did you think about the text? Did you understand the text?
More or less, yes.
More or less. Now, one or two of the words. First of all, I'd like to speak about your reading. So, influenced, try to get the ending of that word, influenced. And, can't remember the other one. But it was a good reading. Okay, so look at the text now, and there's one or two words. Perhaps everybody can look at the text now. Tell me any words which don't look quite right.
Yeah, I have read symbols. Symbols?
Symbols, yes. Now that's a kind of homophone. What's it doing there? Can you tell me?
I think this is not the correct word. I don't know that that means symbols in the text, but I think that it maybe should be symbols.
Can you write the word symbols?
Yeah.
Maybe with a Y? I don't know. Is that allowed with an I? Maybe. But let's have a look now. So we've got two words, symbols.
Yeah.
Symbol with an SYN is this symbol. Anything used to represent something. The symbol of quality, like a mark. So that one is that one. Yes, Hazel's written it. What is the word in the text that we've got? So that's one C symbol. What are they? Diego's written it. Symbols. What are they?
I think it's something that we use in music. It's beats and drums.
Yes, that's right. You would know that one. Symbols, because symbols are part of a drum kit. And there are different kinds of symbols.
Yeah, hi-hat, open hats, crashes.
Crash, right. Hi-hat,
Yeah.
yes. So, symbols. So that one is the first word, which is not quite correct. Now, looking back at the text, is that the only problem? There's another one, actually, before it.
Ironic?
Ironic is wrong. Well, it is a malapropism, because ironic is not really what we want to say here. Why are we speaking about something being ironic? So can you be as ironic as Bob Marley? That's not really what we're trying to say. What are we trying to say here, do you think?
Hazel, you ask Diego or
Everybody.
Or Hazel said it iconic.
Iconic.
Reveling
Iconic.
chat.
Yes. Iconic. So, Diego, have you got that difference between ironic and iconic?
Yeah, iconic is like a symbol for many people.
So a lot of people look up to him. He's like an icon. Uh-huh.
And ironic is to say something that is not literal, to make a joke.
Yes, irony is a bit more difficult to actually pinpoint, because even English speakers sometimes debate the exact meaning of irony. But yes, irony and ironic. So iconic is the word we need there. So in this paragraph there were two words. So now I want to go to paragraph 2 now and move on and ask somebody else to read paragraph 2. So here we have it. So let's go. Dua, are you there? I see red. Please come to the room and enter the room if you actually intend to participate. Don't just grab a seat because other people would like to read. So if you are just going to listen, you can do that from everywhere, from outside. Okay?
Excuse me.
Who's that? Oh, you are here. Sorry.
Yes, sorry, I'm not supposed to be a listener, but this is the first time I'm being here, so I'm kind of lost. So I don't know, where can I find the program?
Okay, well, I've posted it in the Verbling chat. I shall also post it in the. I'll try and post it into the chat for the Hangout too. Can you see?
Okay, yes, now I can see. Okay, should I begin?
Okay, let's go.
From his birth in 1945, Robert Nesta Marley represented a spirit that transcended race and social class. His father, Norval, was a white, middle-class employee of the Jamaican government. His mother, Cedilla, was a poor, black teenager. The marriage didn't last long, however. Social pressure from Norval's family drove the couple apart.
Yeah, so a bit of a sad beginning for them. Now, are there any words in that paragraph? Maybe that paragraph's okay. What do you think?
Transcendent.
You know, if we've got transcended is a good word here, I think. It means transcended, went past, was more than. Have a look in the dictionary. This word is okay, transcended. If something transcends something.
Maybe transfer or transferred.
Transcended is okay here.
Okay.
But I would like some suggestions. If you see a word which could have a very nice malapropism to put into this page, then maybe I would add it to the page because it's good fun. In this paragraph I don't see one at the moment, so let's move on. And nicely read, by the way. Good, well read. Did you understand all of that text? Good. So let's go on then, and next paragraph. So, Dua, have you heard of this musician?
Which musician?
Bob Marley. Have you heard of him?
Nope.
Maybe you know this song. Let me see if you know this song. It's a song which is called "No Woman, No Cry." I don't know if you can hear it.
I'm not really into music.
No. Okay then. So, well, he's pretty famous. Now, let's see who's next then. Hesham, could you read about paragraph 3?
Like many other Jamaicans in the 1950s, Sadella and young Bob moved from their rural community to the capital, Kingston, hoping to find more opportunities there. Instead, they found a ghetto there made clear the imbalance in Jamaican society.
Jamaican is right in English. So in English we say Jamaican. Now,
Jamaican.
how do you say this word? Let me write it. I-N-S-T-E-A-D.
Instead?
Not eed, it's ed. Like head.
Instead?
Instead.
Okay.
Yeah. Do something instead of something. So that's good, okay. Now, in my latest version of this page, I have added a malapropism for imbalance. And I've used the word ambulance, but all of those words are correct at the moment. So, rural community. Kingston. Yeah, we have a Kingston, west of London, quite near Kew Gardens. Have you heard of Kew Gardens?
I heard of Kingston.
Kingston in London, have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about Kingston.
It's on the Thames. quite near Kew. Kew is a great place to take people because it has tropical gardens. And you can go inside a big greenhouse and feel like you're in the tropics with hot temperatures and humidity and parrots and things like this. So, okay, great. Let's move on, see what we can find in the next paragraph. We're on paragraph 4 now. Now, this one, maybe I shall leave this one. No, just a second. Just trying to click. Lots of clicking here. Okay, let's move on then. So, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Kedetzik? Hi. I don't know if it's right. Sorry if it's wrong. So, can you read the next paragraph, please? Hello? Okay. Can you see it?
Not really.
I'm in the Verbling chat, but I put it into the other chat too. It's the problem, we have Verbling chat and Hangout chat too. So there it is. I wish that I could send everybody private text as well, because then we can do a lot more, sending messages at the same time as we're working together, playing more games. But can you see it now?
Yes, but I don't know where I had to start.
It says Bob soon. I'll read it first. Bob soon discovered that his main interest was music. In the evening, he and a friend, Neville O'Reilly Livingston, often listened to a radio station from New Orleans that played songs by Curtis Mayfield, Ray Charles, and Fats Domino. That's the text. Can you see it?
No.
No. Okay. We'll skip you then. Have you heard of Bob Marley?
Sorry, that is my first time here too.
Okay. Well.
But Marley, yes. Yes, I know from here. He's from Jamaica. He is a singer, a popular singer. She's popular because her music, the way he lived, his hair, rastas, right?
Yes.
Um,
And what do you think about his English, his songs, and the words he uses?
I think all the songs have a message, a popular message. Maybe to the I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're quite well written in the sense that they're quite entertaining and quite interesting, even funny sometimes. So sometimes he puts across quite a serious message with some almost funny words. And I think that he was very talented in finding the right words. I like the words that he uses. So the song lyrics, let's have a look at the song lyrics for a minute before we go on. I just want to try and share my screen and see if I can show you the lyrics, and then maybe we can have one or two volunteers to sing a part of it. Can you sing? You know, I don't know their name, but there were 3 girls who used to stand behind him singing. Have you ever seen them?
Yes, I
Stand behind and say ooh da ba da and echo him, and I think the songs were very great. Now let me see if I can share my screen. No, that's that's not the one. Just a minute. Let me see. No, that's not the one, is it? I'm having a problem here. When I click on the screen share, I can't easily see which one I want to... Here we go. There we go. Can you see my screen? Who can see Bob Marley on the screen?
Yeah, we do see him.
Okay, maybe I have to change it to me on the screen. Let's see. There, yep. And now I'm going to look at the words. Who's going to volunteer to sing some of the words for me? Shall I have a go? This is the song No Woman, No Cry. Now, lots of people have debated or spoken about what that actually means, because sometimes he used, like a lot of singers and performers, grammar which was different slightly. So, you know, people don't use formal grammar all the time. So what does no woman, no cry mean? Some people think it means that if you don't have a woman, then you won't be sad. No woman, no cry. Is that what it means? Or does it mean something else? What do you think it means? Well, I think the clue is in some of the other lines, because he speaks to his woman and says, "Don't be so sad, don't cry. No woman, don't cry. No woman, no cry." So he's using it that way. Who knows this tune? Esham, do you know this song?
Hello.
Who knows the tune to this song?
I think I know. No Woman, No Cry.
And could you try to sing one or two of the lines for me? Is that too much? Can you have a go?
Do you mean me?
Yeah, have a go at singing one or two of the lines. Or shall I do it first, or would you like to have a go?
I think I know the first No Woman, No Cry, but I don't memorize. I don't remember. I have no memory for the rest of the lines.
I'll just do a little bit then.
No, like.
You can try some of it if you like, and I'd like to listen to some other people have a go. So I remember, cold ground was my bed last night, and then the girls sing, bed last night. So in brackets is like an echo. And rock was my pillow too. Cold ground was my bed last night. And rock was my pillow too. So then, and then he says, I'm saying talking blues. Talking blues. They say, this is a great line. What does it mean? They say your feet is just too big for your shoes. Who knows what that line means? If you say your feet are too big for your shoes, or you're too big for your boots, what does that mean?
It's not so for you.
Yeah? And
Right.
so who might you say this to? If you say you're too big for your boots, what do you think it's saying to somebody? Maybe they think they're more important than they really are. You could say that. Your feet is just too big for your shoes. My battery's running low, I see, so hold on a second, I've just plugged in. I thought I was plugged in. Sometimes I unplug my battery so that my battery runs down a bit. Seems okay. Are you all still here? Now here's a line I like. I seem to wear a permanent screw. What do you think that's speaking about? Any ideas about that? I've been down on the rock for so long, I seem to wear a permanent screw. What's that permanent screw he's talking about? Is he happy, or is it a little bit sad, or? I need to magnify it, I think. Let's see. Is that better?
No.
Not good. Okay, let's move back to the reading then. It's not so easy to share this. But the words are good, and there are some interesting expressions in his songs too. So I think he's quite a good writer. So let me go back. And I'll stop screen sharing right now. Okay, so go to the next paragraph. Now this one has got a malapropism. So I'm going to give this to somebody to read, and would they find for me the malapropism? Which word is it that's not quite right? Marek, are you there? What about Midu Ali? Are you there? Hello? Who is here?
I'm here.
Okay, let's move over to Tanakorn. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, so that one's for you then, please. Here we have it. It starts with a local, you see?
Okay.
Let's hear you reading it first then. Thank you.
A local singer helped the two boys develop their own singing impunity and meet others who wanted to do the same. One of their new friends was Winston Hubert.
Macintosh.
Macintosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you know this word Macintosh? It's actually a word. This is one of the names, English names from, well, Scottish names, let's say, Scottish names, that has become a word. What is a Macintosh?
It's an Apple computer.
But you know, this word Macintosh, a Mac, is that Macintosh as well as the Apple Mac? Is that a Macintosh? Maybe it is, but also a raincoat was invented by a man called Macintosh. So that's another kind of Mac. You can wear a Mac, or you can use a Mac computer. Sometimes people give their name to something and it becomes a word. I think it's happened a few times. I'm sure you can think of another example where that's happened. Sometimes in England we use an American inventor's name for a vacuum cleaner, Hoover. And there are other cases as well in English where a man's name is used as a word. Okay, so which word is wrong, do you think? Is there a word which is strange? Does any word stick out like a sore thumb? Impunity doesn't look quite right, Hazel, I agree. Impunity. Who can find a word which fits in there instead of impunity? A local singer helped the two boys develop their own singing. What does impunity mean? If you do something with impunity, you won't be punished. But this isn't the right word here. What word would fit? Your own style? Your own... Does anybody have a word for me there? Well, okay. Maybe this one doesn't sound too much like impunity, but we could have something. Any word that fits, please. Any word that fits in that sentence.
Can you tell me the question again, because I was away?
Well, we were looking at the sentence. A local singer helped the two boys develop their own singing, and we need a word there. I gave style.
Skill.
Their own singing skill, yes. Okay, any more words there?
Style.
Style,
Yeah.
skill.
Yeah.
Expertise.
Expertise, ability. Okay, good. So now we're going to do the same with the next text. So in the next text, I'm going to post it, and we're going to look through, and there's some words which are not quite right. So here's the text for the next one. Right. Ricardo, are you there? Ricardo? Keditsik?
Yes,
You're here, good, okay. So could you read the next paragraph, please?
I can try.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Great.
Okay. In 1962, Marley successfully audited for a small record company and began recording songs. He invited his friends, formed a group.
Say that he invited.
He invited his friends, formed a group. Livingstone.
You know, probably we would say Livingston, because when people have stone and stun and words like long words like this, usually the ending is just dropped a little bit, like Livingston, John Livingston. Okay, so let's say Livingston.
Livingstone.
Okay. So he had a nickname.
Livingstone. Yes, Livingstone. I don't see the word completely. Livingstone called himself Bonnie Whaler.
Yeah, the Whalers. They were called the Whalers later, the group, but
Okay.
maybe afterwards they were called the Whalers, because wailing sounds a bit like a kind of singing too, a different kind of wailing. Okay, so you know how to say this Scottish name? Macintosh. Or sometimes it could be Macintosh. Sometimes there are two ways to pronounce Scottish names, but if it's a short name, like McFly, then it's always the main part which is stressed. So it wouldn't be McFly, it would always be McFly, you know, from Back to the Future. But if it's a longer name, it can be two ways sometimes. I think this one could be either Macintosh or Macintosh. And he had a nickname, Peter Tosh. Okay, can you just read the rest of that then, after it says Peter Tosh?
Okay. Who later changed his name to Peter Tosh. No sé esa otra palabra. Well, with Marley backing singer became Bob Marley and the Wailers. The group first song "Shimmer Down" reached number 1 in Jamaica music charts, and about 30 other songs followed.
Okay, good, thank you. Be careful with the ed at the end. So followed, and
Followed.
yeah.
Okay, thank
And
you.
changed. changed, not changed, changed.
Change.
Changed. Yeah. Now, that word simmer, if someone says simmer down, you might be in the kitchen, but you might be speaking to people. What does it mean? Simmer, simmer down. In a kitchen, if you are simmering something, what are you doing?
Boiling it.
Yeah, it's a kind of boiling. Can you tell me a bit more about it? Simmer and boiling. Simmer tells me something extra, something more about the boiling. If something is simmering, how is it boiling? Is it boiling violently, or is it just bubbling a little?
No, it's going to be slowly.
Yeah, that's what simmer means. If the cookbook tells you to simmer, it means take the heat off. Don't really boil it. You shouldn't be hearing the water just see those little bubbles coming to the surface. That's simmer. So what do you think simmer down might mean? If you're using
down.
it metaphorically, it's a bit like calm down, but
Cool down, yeah.
cool down, yes, but it's take the heat off a little bit, simmer down. Although simmer is boiling, it's not boiling as hard as real boiling. So simmer down means just maybe take the heat off one step at least, but it shows that it is getting a bit hot and you want to take the heat off a bit. Now, are all those words okay? Marley successfully audited. Audited, is that good? Let's have a look at that sentence. Bob Marley successfully audited. If you audit something, what do you do? Who might you be if you audit? Hazel, can you tell us?
Making sure that it's right.
Yeah, you make sure something is right, maybe in accountancy. So you could have your books audited in accountancy.
But that's not right in here.
No, so we've got the wrong word. It's a malapropism. So we need to change it, as Hazel said. So in 1962, Marley successfully auditioned for a small record company. That makes a lot more sense. We go to an audition. And the word audition has audio in it, for sound. Audit doesn't. So they're two different words entirely. Are there any other words which are wrong? Maybe not. The rest of the words could be good. So let's move on. The next one has one word only. One word that is not quite correct. So I'll post the text for the next one. Who hasn't read? Is anybody here who hasn't read who would like to read?
Me.
Go on then.
Okay, the year 1966 represented a yearning point in Marley's life. He got married to Rita Anderson. He also spent several months in America visiting his mother, who had remarried and moved there, and he became a follower of Rastafarianism.
Rastafarianism, yes, that's his. Have you heard about Rasta? The colours that they wear, sometimes red, yellow, and black, and some connection with Ethiopia and some beliefs, religious beliefs. But
never heard of them.
Rastafarianism, yes, it's. I don't know too much about it. I can't tell you a lot about it, so maybe you should look it up. But it's connected to religious beliefs. But now, I'd like to say, before you look for the word, that when you read it, it's very nice, but one thing I would say is that sometimes you don't drop towards the end of a sentence so much. So you have to kind of drop your tone at the end of a sentence. moved there, and he became a follower of Rastafarianism. So go up and down a bit, but nice tone.
Okay.
Can you have a look through? Can you tell me which word doesn't look so good?
Okay. Maybe had remarried.
He got married. He to Rita Anderson.
No,
he also
I mean
spent several months.
The remarried.
Yeah.
And,
who
a
had
follower
remarried
too.
and moved there. Yeah. And had remarried. So how would you change that? I'm not sure I would change it, but
It didn't convince me at all. Who had remarried. I feel like it's not right. And maybe a follower too, not a follower of.
well, I think a follower of is correct. Actually, he's a follower of somebody. A follower of. Yeah, following of a follower of is good because it's a noun. He is a follower of Rastafarianism.
Okay.
That's good. And had remarried is good because it's the past perfect. There is another word. Look at Diego. Diego Rueda is on track here. The word yearning. What does it mean? What does the word yearning mean?
I don't know.
If you want something a
Yearning.
lot, you can have a yearning for something, a desire, a yearning.
Longing,
A
maybe.
longing, yes.
Yeah.
So does it make sense? The year 1966 represented a yearning point. Listen to the sound, and then you might find an expression which has a similar sound, and the right word might come to you. A
It was a
yearning.
year of success, so we need something to represent success. But no,
Hazel's got it, look. Can
yeah,
you see?
it's not success because he married and moved several times.
We can't really have a yearning point. We can have a yearning for something, but we can have a turning point in our life. A turning point in our life.
Right.
So that's the way Hazel suggested there. So that one's good. Well done, Hazel. Hazel's getting them all, I think. So let's move on. Paragraph 8. This one has one word as well. Now let's see whose turn it is here. I think, is there anybody who hasn't read yet? Anyone new coming in? Jaron, are you going to read? Jaron? Are you there?
Hi,
Hello.
can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you well.
Okay.
So, do you know what we're doing?
No, I don't know.
Can you see the text in the verbally text box?
Where can I see that?
I can write it for you in the other chat, in the Hangout chat too. There's two chats actually. We try to use the verbling one because everybody can see it from outside. But I've put it in both, and it starts with "this is." This is. I can share my screen too. There's 3 ways I can do it. Can you see it at all anywhere?
I don't know where to see that.
Now.
Okay, maybe me.
Well, hold on. Let me just try a bit more. Let me just try, Yaron. Let me just try and share my screen and see if you can see it that way. So now I'm going to magnify my page. Hold on. Magnify my page, and right. Let me try and share my screen with you and see if you can do it this way. So share screen.
I see the text on the right side.
Can you see it at all? It's on the right side. It's on the.
Oh, I can see it on the right side.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Good. Okay.
Yes, it's on the right. This is the belief that Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie was the direct descendant of biblical King Solomon Selassie, a cession of the throne in 1930, was seen as a sign of an era when black people around the world would be able to achieve social justice through their own efforts. While doing so, they needed to attempt to understand God's work, which manicured itself in the natural order of things.
Now you stopped on the word manicured. What does that word manicure mean?
No idea.
Can anybody help with that word, manicure? Something to do with nails and beauty parlours, I think it is. Maybe it doesn't really belong in this sentence.
Yeah, it's nail polish.
Nail polish, painting your nails and looking after your nails and hands, manicure. So it's not the right word. So look at that sentence and give me a much better word, possibly one which sounds like manicure. So while doing so, they needed to attempt to understand God's work which manicured itself. What's the meaning we're trying to show here? Show itself, maybe. Show itself. Is there a word you know which begins with man? Can anybody text a word which fits there? I'll give you it then. Man, mani. It manufactured itself. Doesn't really make sense in this sentence. While doing so, they needed to attempt to understand God's work, which manifested, which manifested itself. Who knows this word manifest? It's different as a noun and a verb. It's a difficult word because this word as a noun is different to a verb. You need to look at them both. If something manifests itself, it shows itself in a certain way. It's the kind of word that you might see in a book, especially a religious book. But the noun is a much more common word. Manifest. Could be a shipping list. Shipping manifest. Could be a list of all of the passengers on a ship, on board a ship. And all of the freight. So a manifest as a noun is different. Okay, it seems like that's a new word for everybody. Now, thank you. You got some sound just then. Don't know where. So now the next paragraph then. Let's go on. So whose turn is it to read? Clebson, are you there? Cardoso?
Yes.
Hi. Okay, so the game is to read and find the word which is wrong. Can you read it first?
Yes. Where can I read?
In the Verbling chat, or I will post it into...
Okay.
Yeah.
God, and by extension this natural order, demanded a respect so strong that it bordered on fear. One biblical word for this is dread. Cutting one's hair, for example, could be seen as an unnatural act, so her Rastafarians let it go into padlocks.
Okay, so dread is the word there, which dread can be a synonym of fear. Now, which word is a bit strange in this text?
Padlocks.
What are they? What is a padlock?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't have any idea.
Padlocks is a kind of lock. Who can describe a padlock? Padlock is nothing to do with hair. A padlock is to do with security and locks, not the locks of your hair. So what?
Locks doors and.
Yeah, does it? Well, what kind of doors are locked with a padlock? Is a front door of a house, for example, is that locked with a padlock? Let me try to show you what a padlock is. Okay, can you see me? Can you see my fist?
Yes.
Here, I'm pretending it's a padlock. It's like this.
Okay.
And it has it has a thing like that. So it's not for a front door, but for maybe a gate or something like that. So the word lock could be used for different things. So you could take a lock of somebody's hair. There is a girl from children's stories in Europe, traditional story, and her name has the word lock. Does anybody know this girl? And there's a story about 3 bears. Her name is Goldilocks. She's got big long golden hair. So padlocks is not the right word. What's the right word then? Bob Marley has dreadlocks. Dreadlocks. Yeah, dreadlocks. So it's a kind of hairstyle for Rastafarians. Dreadlocks, not padlocks. Okay then. Now we're going on to just reading the next one. The next one is correct. There's no word here which is wrong, but maybe we can find one. Maybe somebody can suggest one. So I'm going to read this one, and I want everybody to look for a word which is very like one of the words in the text and make some suggestions. So in a 1979 interview, Marley explained that another common Rasta practice, smoking marijuana, had to do with slowing down and focusing on things that are spiritually important. I'm not sure everybody agrees with this, but the world will confuse you and you're worried and you don't have no time to think. I would say that's a little bit of a grammar mistake, but that's okay because he's a Rastafarian. He said, herb is acting to give you like a time for yourself so you can live if you use it. Well, okay. I'm not advocating the same thing here, but look at the words. Can anyone find a word there which is possible to slightly change into another word? Look at all of those longer words, maybe interview, practice, spiritual. Can anybody find a word there? Which is interesting.
Foxing.
A double negative, Diego. Yes, there is a double negative. It's common in rock music and which word were you saying? Boxing? Focusing?
Yes.
How can you change focusing? Can you find a word which is close to focusing?
Concentrating. Or this word doesn't exist.
Yeah. Concentrate is focusing. That's the same kind of meaning. What I'd like to find is a word which sounds like one of the words. So,
okay. Sounds
but it's really a different meaning.
Okay.
What word sounds like focusing? I don't know. Maybe there's another one. Anyway, that's what I'd like you to do while we're reading the next passages. So I'm going to move on, and we're on paragraph 11 now. Now choose somebody to read this one for me. Right. Can we go to... Who hasn't read for a while now? Ahmed, are you here? No? Clebson, you've just read. What about?
Yes.
Well, you can read the next one as well. That's fine because you haven't been here all the time. So can you read this one?
I am here. Yes.
Oh, you are? Ahmed is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me go to Ahmed then first, because I was trying to call on him. Ahmed, can you read the text? Can you
Okay.
see it there?
Yeah, I can see. Because the use of marijuana was illegal, anyone caught smoking it could expect to spend 18 months in jail. It also
Yeah, I missed the plural there. 18 months.
Okay. Spent 18 months in jail. It also became a symbol of defiance to all.
Defiance in English.
Okay. Of defiance to old-fashioned power structures. Marley, Weller, and Tosh began to write songs with such titles as Soul Rebel, I Shot the Sheriff, and Get Up, Stand Up.
Yes, do you know any of these songs?
No. I'm not into songs, that one.
My favourite of these is Get Up, Stand Up. It's got quite a bit of a beat to it. Get up, stand up for your rights. Do 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 do. And yeah, I think the albums that they made in the early 70s were good because they were recorded in a very pure way, not too much mix. Is Hesham still here? Because Hesham knows about this. I think he's gone. But you know, sometimes some music is very overproduced.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, with the mix with yeah, got you. With background or something like that.
Too many tracks, too many soundtracks. But these records were made with just a few tracks, and so the music is simple in a way, and you can hear it quite well. Now, which words there could we look at? Let's have a look. Defiance, symbol of defiance. What's the verb for defiance?
Defeat, defy.
Not to defeat. Defy is the verb.
Defy.
To defy, yes. So, okay, that's good. So there's no words there which are wrong. They're all good.
Can I ask you a question? What defiance means? Defiance.
If you
The
defy,
same of challenge.
you go against something. You refuse to. It's a little bit related to not obeying the rules. If you don't obey the rules, then you are defying somebody. You're going against them. What's the difference though between defying, and not obeying something? If you defy, let's see the dictionary and see what the difference is there, because I feel the difference, but I like to explain it to you. If you defy, you refuse to obey or do something in the usual or expected way. So really, I suppose it's the opposite of obey. Obey or defy.
Okay.
They defied an evacuation order and stayed in town during the hurricane. So, yeah, you could say it's the opposite of obey.
Okay.
To defy. Right. Yeah, they speak about this song. Look at the lyrics of this song. Get up, stand up for your right. They sang, get up, stand up, don't give up the fight. Yeah, quite a good song, that one, I think. And a very simple lineup. What is the lineup? When I say a lineup for this band, what is a band lineup? Who can tell me what a lineup is? If you speak about lineup in the sense of a band as a kind of noun, they had a great lineup. What is the lineup?
I don't know.
If it's a verb, it means get in line, start queuing, but I'm using it as a noun. So this band had a great lineup in the early 70s. What does it mean? It means who was there, who was in it, who were the members. So when you see performers on stage, they use this word lineup to mean all of the people who are in it, because you know at the end of a performance they come and line up and they take a bow. So if you say they've got a great lineup, it's the people who are going to perform. So moving on, we'll have to stop, I think, actually, because we're out of time. So there are no more malapropisms. Hope we've learnt a few extra words today, and I'm going to try and maybe I should do another one of these. What do you think of this exercise? Was it too tricky, too difficult, or a bit strange to do it this way?
No, it's cool. I was reading the exercise before I entered here.
Yeah, but what do you think about this idea of changing some of the words and looking for the malapropisms?
It is a little hard because I don't know many words because I'm not so good in English.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit too difficult because you really have to know your words.
Yes, then we have to be thinking what the meaning, and it's hard to find another words.
Okay, well I won't do it so often. Just thought I'd try it today. A bit of a joke really, but I hope we've learnt some words and had a little bit of experience anyway. So I'll see you later. Go to the next lesson now if you can. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.